All right, welcome to the latest episode of the Coleman Power Organic Fitness Podcast. And just to suppose touch on the biggest, hottest, freshest news right now. It's nothing to do with the weather, even though it is absolutely roasting hot midsummer. It is the official Amazon #1 bestseller, Coleman Power Organic Fitness. Amazon is available on Amazon still, but also if you are coming to any of the events that are happening right now, the Grow Your Own courses that I'm doing up in Featherfield Farm in Kildare, the likes of the retreats. The next one's on in Mayo on the 26th of August. Stay tuned for more info on that coming on my social medias, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn, you name it. I'm on them all. So in this episode, we're going to touch on the questions that I have pulled together from my social medias. And those are the likes of these following. So does meat have better vitamins, or what is protein good for? This is from Medic Bro on TikTok. Then we have looking for blood circulation improvement. And that comes from Davey, and he's from Michigan. That's the second question. And then low-calorie drinks for the summer that don't affect my waistline. And that is, again, from Anonymous, that one. It's always tough ones from Anonymous. And then finally, we have yogurts and their benefits to gut health. So those are the 4 questions we'll be touching on. And last one, probably one of my favorite, with 5 takeaway tips for improving your gut health. So we'll go straight back up to the top and we'll go, does meat have better vitamins, or what is protein good for? So firstly, touching on what actually protein is. It's an essential macronutrient. Your body must consume it every single day. So protein and meat in that example contains all 9 essential amino acids. So when we most certainly do have meats, you do get the full spectrum that is needed for optimal health. But you don't necessarily have to have meat. You can also have fish, you could also have chicken, you could also have soya products. And it's really important to remember that they also have competing or comparable essential amino acids for anyone on whatever diet they do consume. Cheese is another one. And there are so many different variants of fish that you gain. Let's take the example of sardines. You would also have omega-3s, which is a healthy fat. And that's the second thing that the body runs off. You run your body off protein. And protein is not just for building muscle. It's actually satiating. And most people that I mentor and coach and that I chat to at the events that are nutritionally based, you're not eating enough protein foods. Okay? So you're not satiated. And most people undereat breakfast. You undereat your lunch. And then inevitably at the end of the day, what's going to happen is you're going to binge eat. So that's why there's a massive emphasis on you consuming protein with your breakfast. If you don't consume enough protein with your breakfast, you're playing catch up for the rest of the day. It's one of those simple things. Okay. And people often say, oh man, how much protein should I eat? That is dependent on your fitness goals. That means if you're doing events such as 5Ks, you're doing half marathons, you're looking to lose weight, it'll be slightly different. You're looking to build lean muscle tissue a little bit more. So that's the variant. And that's what I look into with individuals that I coach in the organic fitness program. So if you're looking to improve your health, you have to have protein in your diet. You don't have to have meat necessarily. It is something that is beneficial towards people that are looking to, gain the advantage of iron in the form of non-heme, which means it's easier for the body to absorb. So, but that necessarily means you have to have it in every meal. And I do train vegetarians, and there are meals that I have on a regular basis that would most certainly not contain meat. But however, there would be those other examples, as I said, fish, chicken, eggs, which are nature's multivitamin. If you're not eating eggs and you don't have an intolerance to it, you're missing a trick. They are so quick. They're literally nature's power balls. You carry them in your bag, in a lunchbox with a salad in summer. They're high protein, and do contain healthy fats, especially when you get them organic. They are most certainly something that are low carbohydrates. So that means they're great with either a salad type lunch with low carbs or your breakfast. And another thing that I do have my eggs with is extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is my preferred cooking oil if I'm cooking at low to medium temperatures, or the other one would definitely be coconut oil. So those are the things that I have after or with my meals, because fat is essential. Okay, so protein is something that we do need to have, and it is something that you must consume in your diet. So those are whole food sources. You can also get them in the combination of, we'll take the example of brown rice, which I am a major fan of. Okay, complex carbohydrate, does contain certain type of protein, and you have the likes of your beans, whether it be in season peas or beans, French beans, you betcha, that I most certainly am showing people how to grow. Such an easy crop. And the more, I suppose, people grow a little bit of their own, it's literally reminding them that food is medicine. Because what else does French beans contain? Vitamin C, iron, magnesium, all things people are taking in multivitamins. So as I say, get on the good stuff and literally start eating more whole foods, whether you're growing your own or buying it. They're in an abundance now coming midsummer. And you can either go to country markets, you can literally put them in seeds in a polytunnel and gain the advantage of those as well. They literally are no brainer for anybody looking to be more sustainable. And right now, it's like printing your own money, having the likes of food growing in your backyard in pots, which I have a couple of people doing at this moment in time. And the more foods that you most certainly have grown in your backyard, the much more likely you are to have a healthy diet. So with the point of going back to that, how much should we have in a day? So for a general number, because people are always like, Cohen, just give me the goddamn number. I said it, I'm the politician here. It's different for everyone. But if I was to give you a number, I would go with 30. So 30 grams of protein to keep you satiated, to keep you fuller for longer. And remember that protein also is good for repairing not only your muscles, but cells, and your body's made of cells. It's also good for skin health. So if you're suffering and would like a better, cleaner looking skin, I do most certainly recommend the likes of protein sources from grass-fed animals if you are consuming meats. Why? Because they have higher omega-3 and they're not fed antibiotics, which can have a negative effect on your gut health, which we're going to talk about in the likes of the next section. So, second question coming in there from Dave from Michigan on TikTok, looking for blood circulation. Okay, how to improve your blood circulation? There's a couple of different ways that I do increase my blood circulation. First one I do first thing in the morning, and it's grounding. It's something that's natural. It neutralizes free radicals and speeds up blood flow. The beneficial properties of increasing your blood flow, you have your vitamins and minerals that are carried in your blood. When you have more vitamins and minerals going to the areas that it needs to go to, whether it's to your brain, most certainly for cognitive function, it naturally wakes up the body. It keeps you alert. And a lot of people will tend to reach for coffee. However, this is a little quick switch up in your diet. It is summertime. Get outside, put your feet, your hands, or any part of your body, get skin in the game, get those beneficial microbes on your body. The more you do that, and if you were to do that for 5 days consistently, and at the retreats I host in and around the country, next one in Mayo, it is one of the activities that I will be doing myself and carrying out in the morning, typically when the sun is rising. Why? Because this is another way of increasing blood flow. Increasing blood flow reduces the likes of buildup of blockages in your arteries. If you are that way inclined to worried about your heart health, or anyone who suffers or has a family history of people suffering with strokes. These are two things, two simple things. These are free. This is no medication I'm going to be recommending you. Food is medicine and lifestyle is key. So we're going with the two of those things for increasing your blood flow first thing in the morning. And it couldn't be any more natural. It's something that we've lost touch with completely. Outside, we're living in a world where we get up out of bed, we roll up, we turn on the kettle, we have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, we get in the car, we go to work, we don't see light, and that's the next thing. So after the likes of your grounding, you have your sunlight. You don't see light. You only go into the offices to see artificial light. You go, I suppose, for your tea break, don't see again any light. Then your food choices, typically, we're going for coffee. People are skipping breakfast. They're saying they're on a diet. They're being good. They undereat the likes of their foods. And that's the next thing. Foods. Foods that do increase your blood flow would most certainly be the organic fitness food I'd love to know what page exactly it's on in the book. I'm going to say 76. So, oh my God, it's 97 on the list. Pretty damn close. So beetroot, better than a banana. That is the title of the chapter on page 76. For those of you that have it, it's like reading from the Bible. So 76 is all about beetroot. Beetroot is something that increases your blood flow, and it's something that I do have throughout the summer. And a lot of people may know or have heard of people who play sports and they're drinking beetroot shots for this exact reason. It is giving them more energy. They are improving their blood flow. That again is carrying every vitamin and mineral, especially if you're playing or doing any activity, whether it be home workouts or gym based, or looking to, I suppose, do a PB in relation to sprints or jogs or anything else in between, any activity. Get your hands on actual beetroot. Roast the whole thing in the oven. Steam it like a potato. Chop it into rings. Put it in your stir fries. It's done in minutes. It's such a simple thing. Foods are in season for a reason. Why? Because we are looking to be as productive as we possibly can. And a lot of people on the Organic Fitness program are consuming beetroot on a regular basis now. And they are feeling the difference. Because why? Food comes into season for a reason. People are looking to get fit in the summer. Why? Because they want to look good in their Speedos or bikini or their swimwear. In their like swimwear. All right. So that is one of the food items I do recommend for improving your blood flow. The next one is most certainly, okay, cayenne pepper. It is a classic spice that gives a bit of heat. The heat is on. So if you're looking for something to add to your meals instead of the likes of salt, nothing wrong with salt. It's just a lot of people are then over consuming processed foods, which does have a high percentage of salt in it. So switch up there to a food item that doesn't contain salt and contains benefits such as antioxidants and improving your blood flow. Cayenne pepper, get on it. It's quite spicy. And for those of you that want to jump on the bandwagon and always end up overdoing it, and I was training this previous client, and if they're listening, this is for you. Slow and steady wins the race. Only put on small amounts. Always taste it. There was a run and a sprint and a dash to the shop after the consumption of an excessive amount of cayenne pepper due to the fact that they had no yogurts in the fridge. So yeah, so take it handy on that one. Cayenne pepper is spicy, yes. So that's something that you can most certainly add to your meals. So just to recap of those is grounding, sunlight, you have the likes of your foods, beetroot, and you've cayenne pepper. And one of the last things, the fifth thing I'm going to recommend to you is exercise. You're looking for improved blood flow. When you're exercising, your heart rate pumps at a higher rate. When your heart rate is going that little bit faster, inevitably your blood flow is increasing. So if you're looking for increased blood flow, exercise on a regular basis is what I recommend. So if anyone has either like poor circulation in their fingers, their hands, or toes, it is something that can help them, and that is inevitably something that I do recommend. Why? Because with exercise, there are so many benefits towards your overall health. Mental health being a massive one. Why? Because you increase the likes of production of your serotonin, which is your happy hormone when we exercise. So those are the 5 things to increase the likes of your exercise, your blood flow, and exercise being the 5th one of those. So we're going on to the next question. Low calorie drinks that I recommend. So being someone that would have a drink on occasion, there are beverages that I would consume over others. So for those of you long-term listeners may have heard this before, but as well reiterating again at this moment in time throughout the summer months when there are parties, there are barbecues on, and especially if you're looking to either maintain or more certainly stay in a calorie deficit, there are things and beverages that I do recommend more so than others. So the likes of pints do contain higher amount of carbohydrates and calories than the likes of spirits. So if you were looking to keep your calories low in any given day, it is a preference of mine to consume liqueurs, spirits, as opposed to pints. But if you are choosing pints, having maybe a lighter beer is something that you can, as opposed to, I don't want to name any beverages, a lighter beer is what I do recommend, because they're half, if not less of the calories in itself, and that's what you're looking for. It's okay to have a drink, because what you do the majority of the time will get you the majority of results. So if I am, and I will be throughout the summer, having an odd drink, I factor that in. I slightly reduce down my carbohydrates throughout the day. I exercise. I will most certainly get more than 10,000 steps. And that's what you call a balance of your calories on the day. And then the alcohol beverage of choice would be either, for the women, more so lean towards gin. And myself, I would go for a vodka on the rocks with soda water. And I say lime because for a lot of people, and I emphasize lime, a lemon, some fruit, but not the sugary coated cordial muck that is full of sugar. And we don't want added sugar, especially when we're, I suppose, trying to make ourselves look and feel better. And this is what I'm recommending. So spirits with the likes of, I suppose, a fruit for flavoring, and sparkling water or soda water is something that I do have on occasions where I suppose I'm looking to reduce down the effect it may have on my body composition when I'm looking to look as good as I possibly can, or if you're looking to stay or maintain and reduce down your body fat in a weight loss phase. So those are the drinks that I do recommend throughout the summer. Put that in your glass and drink it, but slowly and steady as she goes on that one too. So the final question, and probably my most favorite of the ones that came in this week, is yogurts and its benefits on gut health. So there are beneficial bacteria found in live bacteria, so it means they're living, that are called probiotics. Probiotics naturally populate your gut, your beneficial gut bacteria that are so key for optimal health. And I often talk about gut health, and actually have a chapter in the book. Yes, it is. And I'm going to say the chapter that the gut health is in is chapter 3, 6 signs of an unhealthy gut, 5 ways to improve your gut, and natural probiotics. Yogurts would definitely be up there. But it must be mentioned that not all yogurts are created equally. So when you are consuming yogurts, okay, I do recommend people to, if they can, get organic yogurts. And most certainly, if you don't tolerate the dairy, which is the lactose, in the dairy yogurts, you can also have soya. So those soya yogurts and those dairy yogurts are both complete protein sources, but they're made up slightly differently. The dairy would have slightly higher healthy fats. My mouth nearly waters as I talk about it, and that can be beneficial towards you hitting your daily recommended amount of fats. And the likes of the soya would have less fats, but have slightly higher carbohydrates, which is something that your body's is the body's first source of energy. So either way, it is something that I do lean towards myself, having a combination of a yogurt on the go for an easy snack that is really handy, because it most certainly is something that doesn't have to be cooked. You can get it from going from A to B in a shop, grab it quick, have it at your mom's, your friend's house, bring it with you. And if you want to bump up your protein, literally put a scoop of some organic supplement. The one I'm currently using is the likes of Sunwire, which if you're based in America, there's a discount code Coleman. You put it in there, get 10% off. You can use it. You can not use it. If you want cheaper protein supplement that I use in my diet, that's the one I use, and that's the one I recommend to people on the Organic Fitness program. And I will be sampling another one very soon, an Irish product, so stay tuned for that. I've just been in contact with them as of today, so they reached out, and I will certainly be doing a trial on that. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, send me a message on either Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, or LinkedIn, and I will hit you up with, I suppose, the details on that. And why gut health is so important is why it's linked with your brain. It's called a vagus nerve, and that's why I'm a firm believer in eating foods that are organic. Why? Because the likes of glyphosate is something that you do not want in your diet, and in foods such as maybe soya, that if you're getting a non-organic soya yogurt, it is something that can speed up the ripening of most certainly grains, and that's something that you don't want. People don't see this. I'm trying to pass on this information, and it's hard for people to visualize it. But if you open up your eyes, and there's a quote that comes to mind: when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Look at the fields that you're driving past right now. And 1 minute they're green, they're lush. The next they're sprayed and they start to turn orange. That is a sure sign that they've been sprayed with harsh chemicals such as glyphosate that can cause negative effects on your gut health. It's something that's pretty much causes anti-bacterial effects on your gut. Things you do not want. You do not want to be affecting those. And there are 5, I suppose, tips to improve your gut health that we're going to touch on right here, right now. The first of which is eliminating sugar. Okay, eliminating sugar. Why? Because that causes an increase in your bad bacteria. Okay, and there's a balance that you're looking for, and you want the good guys to win out against the bad guys. Okay, bring on Batman, bring him in. And how you do that is you reduce the amount of sugar, added sugar to your diet. And if you are getting yogurts, this is another firm belief of mine. People say, I love the taste of those blueberry, the strawberry, the raspberry yogurts. Get the goddamn fruits that are in season right now, add it to a natural yogurt, and you have the exact same flavor with fiber and none of the added sugars. That is a simple organic fitness tip. Please add that one to your diet, your regime. So the next thing is avoiding grains that have been sprayed with the likes of glyphosate. So grains and soya would also fall into that category. That's number 2. The third of which is reduce, if not eliminate, your alcohol. I know I've mentioned the likes of beverages in this post, and that's why I wanted to touch on it right here, right now. For your gut health, we must remember that alcohol is a preservative, and you can have, and it can have, most certainly negative effects on your overall gut bacteria if consumed in excessive amounts, which you do not want. Okay? It also causes inflammation. Inflammation is the root cause of all diseases. These things are linked with poor health. So it's not something that I want people to do, to drink beverages, because firstly, there's so many negative effects. Firstly, on your health due to the fact that it negatively affects your sleep. It also has negative effects on your gut health and your mood. And following that, then once your mood is affected, your daily habits and practices and productivity throughout the day, you're a hell of a lot less likely to train after a feed of drink. So that's really important. It's not that you can't factor it in. It's just that I don't recommend it on a weekly basis, because I used to be the person who started drinking on a Thursday, started doing it on a Friday. And I used to get the phone call saying, Coleman, you're the best crack ever. Keep coming Friday, Saturday. And then I was going into Monday, and I'm so glad that I came around the opposite, and now I'm on the other side of that. It's not that I won't ever have a drink, and you don't have to have drink to have fun. That's another massive point. And at the, like I said, the retreats, it's something that I can, and you can check out from reviews. You have a whole lot of fun. I'm allowed to say it. I'm saying going to bed early. You don't have to go to bed early, but getting up and filling your day full of activity and healthy foods. And that's what I love. And I'm delighted. I'm super grateful that I get to do that as part of my job. And then going on to the likes of the 5th of the tips to improve your gut health, antibiotics. If you are currently taking antibiotics, what you need to do is get straight back on the natural pre and probiotics. We touched on probiotics. So probiotics examples would be fermented foods such as yogurt. We touched on those. Cheese, if you tolerate it. The likes of raw milk would also be a natural probiotic. You have kimchi, which is fermented sauerkraut, kombucha, which is something I definitely recommend to people instead of alcohol. Why? Because you're drinking it from a bottle, it kind of feels like you're having the same effect. You're still having the crack, you're still having the fun, you're still being involved in the whole barbecue scene outside, having the chats, and it's social. Drinking is social, and it's sometimes about, like those of you who've ever smoked, about holding something in your hand, whether it's the cigarette, whether it's the beverage or the bottle. It's switching up the habit to a healthier one. And this is what we're looking for. It's not about, I suppose, completely going cold turkey and anything. It's about step by step, incrementally improving from where you are to getting to where you want to be. It's the small things that people need to improve on. It's actually your foods, eating more protein foods, getting the likes of your, I suppose, routine. And this is one thing that I get people to do on the Organic Fitness program, is write down in the first week of taking them on a blueprint of what they want their day to turn out like. So if they're looking to, I suppose, improve their health, starts with what time they get up at, what time they have their breakfast, do they work out in the morning, what time they start work, what time they have lunch, what they have for lunch, what time they finish, what they have for dinner, when they are, suppose, unwinding and shutting down, putting down the phone, putting on your blue light blocking glasses, which I have now and are from Swanwick, discount code Colin15. It's kind of funny that people that are listening to me, actually this podcast is out 3 years. 3 years. 3 years as of today. How cool is that? Yeah. Thanks for listening. Major grateful. Were you listening, or have you listened to episode 1? Episode 1. I wonder if you have listened to episode 1, what would you think about the way that I project myself and my voice throughout these podcasts? I need to go back and listen to it myself. I was getting a bit of grief at the start. Family members and things like that. Oh, cool, man, you're saying it like this. You should be saying it like that. And I was like, thanks so much for your feedback. I'm trying to improve as an individual. And I'm pretty sure it actually hadn't started the book as of then, but it would have been written down on a board. My God, that feels like such a long time ago. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not. Because in 3 years, you can be in a completely different place to where you are right now. You can be wearing different clothes. You can be hanging around with different people. You can be going to different events. You could literally be the best version of yourself, imagine, in 3 years' time. And that is most certainly something that anybody can achieve if you take the steps in the right direction. But are you willing to do that? Sometimes you have to give up and sacrifice something in the now to get something you want in the future. That's going to come and sit home with somebody. Is it you? And we'll leave it there. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Coleman Power Organic Fitness Podcast. All things healthy, the power of organic fitness. Book available on Amazon. I'm going to be saying that forever. Yes, I am, because that book is there forever. It's an Amazon #1 bestseller. If you didn't hear about that. Boom. There we go. And events coming up are the Grow Your Own courses in Kildare. Next one is most certainly filling up. So if you want a space, hit me up in DMs. The Organic Fitness Retreat down with Cara O'Donnell, with Joe Maloney, the personal development coach, Cara being the nutritional therapist, myself being the organic grower and author. I said it. And you have also Kaz and Karen, who's doing the likes of the yoga. Those are the 4 experts in their fields, most certainly at an ideal location on this event in County Mayo. It's on the 26th of August. You want in on that. There's only limited spaces, just 2 tickets. I would love to see you there. And as I always like to end these podcasts, stay tuned, stay classy, and keep it organic.